Baby, this time it's the buzzer. It's
Well, Bruce Springsteen might be the godfather or one of the godfathers of rock and roll, but we've got the godfather of radio, the great Stone Squatch, Stoney with dog. Mike Stone joins the task force. Stoney, could be happier to have you here. I pulled this show on for you on purpose. It's September 20th, 1978 at the Capitol Theater in New York. My guess is you were there.
No, I wasn't there, but that might have been one of the ones that was broadcast live. I could have been listening to.
Yeah, pretty solid old school video there by Bruce and the E Street Band. And we'll talk Bruce and a lot of other things, my friend. But before we get into anything, I just got to tell you, as you know, one of the reasons I got into this crazy business, and you've been keeping people entertained like crazy during a pandemic. What has this last couple, 2-3 months been like you, stuff been for you?
It hasn't, for me, it hasn't been that crazy because I still go into the studio every morning. I don't linger to talk to people because there's nobody there to talk to. So I'm basically out of there by 10 after 10 instead of like 11:45 like I used to. And, I go home, take a nap. I've gained a little weight, haven't worked out as much.
You look great.
Played a little golf, So other than that, I'm not seeing as many people as I would like, but hopefully, that'll change shortly. But you never know. Doing a lot of Zoom stuff with my college friends, which is kind of good.
Yes. Yeah, I normally do. I love the band Fish. So I normally do Fish and dinner and a show with Fish on Tuesday nights with my friends from around the country. And me and Dave, the great Kingpin's here, of course. And we figured out it's a rough day. It's a rough day. You started with his brother, and you got to end with him. Dave, this was your thought process.
I feel real sorry for Stoney. He had to deal with me back in the DFN days. Then I left, and then he left, and then he had to deal with my brother. And then I came back for a little bit, although I wasn't working with him. And now he still has to deal with my brother, and now he gets to deal with me tonight. So feel real sorry for you, Stoney. I apologize in advance for having to deal with double Riegers today.
That's okay. It's not too bad. I'm surprised I'm not seeing your Drew Lock jersey.
No.
Or your Graham Glasgow jersey.
Yeah. Thank you for the Lions.
The nickname should be
Graham Glasgow. Appreciate it. That'll be helpful.
I have my phone as I used to have my phone as Dave Faxton Rieger for Peyton Lynch. Now I got on my phone as Lockistan Rieger. So we have our Broncos Lions bet coming up, and Dave has got a great Dan Leach one-on-one starring Stoney that we'll get to in a little bit. But Stoney, I wanted to talk to you about sports right now. You're wearing a Team Canada jersey. We all love and miss sports, and I wonder where you're at. I mean, the NHL came out with their 2014 playoff format yesterday. The NBA is talking about opening up in Disney. I know Major League Baseball and these other leagues want to try. I hope I'm wrong. I still believe that we're not going to have sports other than maybe the NFL until late in the year or next year. But where are you at with sports coming back? And do you think they should right now?
I think they should, if everybody's healthy. And, the numbers keep looking better for the most part. And statistically, more people have been dying in nursing homes and older people than elsewhere. Not or different. But I think what the NHL did is important. I think it's good. The NBA will probably end up starting first. Actually, baseball, if they never get their asses together, will start spring training probably first. I think it'll work. I mean, the problem is here because our team's below. The Wings are already out, which is okay. The Pistons, if they do it the correct way, they'll be gone before this thing's even starts. So we'll have the Tigers and the Lions to look forward to in college sports.
Yes. Now, you obviously are a mainstay and a legend here in Detroit. You're the godfather of radio. But I wanted to take you back to your Philadelphia roots, your George Michael sports machine roots. for the people that don't know, and I know most people know your story, but there's some that might not, that obviously have been big fans of yours going way, way back to when you first got here. Tell everyone, how it worked where you're in Philadelphia, you come to Detroit, and how everything kind of went from there.
Well, you skipped something. I went to college in D.C. and worked in D.C. and then came here. So I was working.
That's right, Dan Millerville.
That's right, the NBC TV station in Washington with helped start the George Michael Sports Machine, which was a great Sunday night highlight show before, most people had ESPN and cable. So that was pretty cool. And I did a lot of really good things and ended up quitting because I wanted to get on the air, and that didn't work out so well. So if anybody's out there listening, don't quit a job until you have another one. And it just so happened that it wasn't Fox at the time; it was Metro Media. But their sportscaster just got a job in Detroit, and he wanted somebody with NBC ties, and I needed a job. So one Bernie Smilovitz brought me here. My first day of work was May 1st of 1986 at WDIV Channel 4. And then I met Mitch Albom, lived with him and another guy for a while. And we started the Sunday Sports album in 1988, which was on 98.7 WLLZ, which is now The Breeze. Anyway, and then WDFN started. We were the biggest city in the country without an all-sports station. And I sent a resume and was fortunate to get a job. Originally, it was supposed to be from like 6 to 9 or 7 to 10 with some guy named Ike Griffin, the mega sports.
Nice.
But this guy named Lance McAllister, no relation to Bill, got a job in Cincinnati, I think it was, instead of Detroit that he was supposed to. And he was so he was supposed to be working with Rob Parker. So I took McAllister's place, and Rob and I started The Odd Couple. July 11th, 1994, Rob left, went to New York to write for Newsday. And then like in April or May of 95, Wojo joined instead. So it's Stoney and Wojo till January, whatever, the day Obama got inaugurated, when Clear Channel decided we've had enough, 2,000 people leaving. Got fired nationwide. So it was a good run. And I was unemployed for about 10 months. And then got to fill in at 97.1 for a little bit. And then Jay Towers left, and they put me with Bill and Sarah. And then a few years later, they made a change. Jamie came, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you this. I asked the same thing of Dan Miller, speaking of roots in D.C., when you come from a different area and, you've been here, you're as much a Detroiter now. I know you consider yourself one as your roots in Philadelphia. What were your first feelings about the Detroit fan base, the teams, and just being in this market after, having a lot of strong roots yourself, sports-wise and other, in Philadelphia? And then obviously DC before you came in.
Well, I came here, I said, well, you know what, I'll probably be here for, a couple of years. No big deal. I want to try to live somewhere else, see what the rest of the world is like. And I found that a lot of things were different. I always watched college football, but I really didn't have a favorite team. My dad went to Penn State, so I kind of followed them, but I wasn't crazy about them. So I followed them, and then so I'm moving here. Being a producer at Channel 4, I remember going to the news director and saying, we got to make flight reservations and hotels for all the Lions road games, because coming from Washington, I used to cover the Redskins on the road. And the news director said, what are you talking about? It's the Lions. We don't spend money. Really? But college football is more important. So I convinced him to go to one game. I went, actually, it was the home opener, not the home opener, it was the season opener in Minnesota. So we went to a few games. I went to a Lions game there. I went to a Lions game in Oakland, and actually it was in LA, the LA Coliseum. They were the LA Raiders at the time. So, college football to me is what makes Detroit the best sports town in America, because most big sports cities aren't passionate about college football.
No.
College in Philly, college basketball is huge. Here, people like Michigan and Michigan State, obviously, but it's not like it was in Philly when I was growing up with the Big Five, St. Joe's, Temple, Penn, LaSalle, Villanova. In D.C., you had the Big East, and you had the ACC with, Maryland, North Carolina, Virginia. Maryland, Virginia were treated like local teams. The other thing that was different from coming to Washington was we had a baseball team here. In Washington, there was no baseball team. We covered the Orioles like a home team, but they really weren't.
Erwin, by the way, on the chat wants to know you're a famed American University alumni. I almost went there. I actually was enrolled there, but was accepted there, but never ended up going. He wants to know the best athlete to ever come out of American. The Eagles, right? American Eagles?
American University. The best athlete ever to come out of American University. We've had two that have played in the NBA. One came out of the G League a couple of years ago, and it was a great story. Andre Ingram. You might remember the Lakers.
Yes.
Had all those points in those two games. So that was really cool. But before that, there was some guy who, Dan, Michigan's very big here. I really like Michigan. But only a guy from American would beat the crap out of the guy from Michigan. So Kermit Washington.
Yes.
Of course, punched out Rudy Thompson.
With Rudy.
Yeah.
It's a little under the weather.
Kermit Washington, by the way, who's now in prison for defrauding a charity.
Yes. Yes.
He, I still believe he's the last player to average 20 points and 20 rebounds throughout his college career.
Really?
That's pretty insane.
Wow.
I think that's true still. Yeah.
Dave,
you can always count on Stoney for a stat of the day.
Yes.
Right.
Stat of the day. Now, Dave has obviously known you longer than me, and that's unfortunate for you because Dave, it's like knowing any Rieger stuff. But Dave, what do you remember about first meeting Stoney?
Hold on. I don't know about that. I knew you when you were serving us dinner at Jay Alexander's.
That's a good point.
What year? What year was that?
Yeah, Dave always says he's known everyone longer than me.
Hold on. What year did you work at Jay Alexander's? What year?
2000 and something to 2000. 2001? No, it was later than that. 2008.
Okay, yeah, because I worked with Stoney at DFN from 2002 to 2007.
Yeah. Right. Dave always likes to say I've known everyone longer. But when you first,
I don't know, Leach, because you had already been an intern at Channel 2 by then, weren't you?
That's right. You know what? I just won, Dave. I knew him in 1999. Yeah. That's right. So I went. Yeah, because I met Stoney.
Well, you know what? After losing the golf match this weekend again, I guess you got to win something. So that's fine.
Yeah, whatever. My nephew says the ice cream.
Dave, he was skinny back then.
I know. Hey, look, I'm getting better. I'm losing some weight here.
Hey, he's walking every day.
Walking every day, Stone Squatch.
Losing weight, shedding the pounds.
It's funny. I won't say who it is, but a friend of mine that we all know is he likes guys. And said, whatever, Leach, you were pretty damn hot back in the day. So I'm trying to get back to it. But no, I wanted to, Dave, do you remember when you first met Stoney and what that was like? Were you in awe of the Godfather? Because like I said, and I think a lot of people feel this way, Stoney, as you know, you on the Stoney and Wojo show when I was in high school and then left and came back, you were an inspiration to a lot of people like me that got into the business. And I'm sure Dave is in a similar boat in that sense. I know Jeff Rieger, his brother, is. But did you remember when you first met him, Dave?
So I actually applied at DFN when they worked in what they called the Garage in downtown Detroit. I still have the letter from Greg Henson saying, "Sorry, we're not going to hire you." So that might have been whatever year that was, when it was Shamrock Broadcasting or something like that owned.
Oh, that's
DFN.
Shamrock.
Right.
The first one.
But my time at DFN was split between two masters. I was an employee of Clear Channel and WDFN, but I actually worked with Glenn Hagee in the Handyman show. So I had a little bit of I would cover some stuff, and I had a little bit of stuff to do with the Stoney and Wojo show, and with it was back then. It was let's see. Brandon Tierney was there. The morning show with Jamie and Brady. Dave Pash was there. Ryan Field. So it was a little different from my situation, but I knew everybody. I got along with everybody, but I didn't necessarily have day-to-day dealings with all of the shows on a regular basis.
Oh, there, Stoney's fixed it. We had a microphone issue earlier. We got it now. Well, I wanted to ask you, Stoney. You are the godfather of this market for a reason.
So, hold on. Technical thing. Do you want me to get rid of the phone, or is it what's working?
Can we try this? Should we see this and see if it works?
Try
if it works.
Do you hear me? So if I mute, let me mute my phone. Hold on.
Let's see if it works. And no, we lost him. Yeah, I think
you hear me. No.
No, then it comes out double.
We've tried this many times, so let's not do that again. It's all right. Get your phone back on. You look great, Stone Squatch. Unmute your phone. You got to unmute the phone. There you go. There you go, Stoney. All right. So we tried. We tried every which way. How do you? You good?
I'm fine.
How do you think the business of sports radio and really just sports, covering sports, but especially sports radio has changed since you did the Stoney and Wojo throw to now when you work with Jamie on 97.1? How much do you think it's changed since that era when you guys were one of the first, you were the first big sports show in this area?
Well,
ever.
I think the biggest difference is like we used to rip Wayne fonts, and have jokes and things like that. Art Regner came up with Grow, get rid of Wayne. And the Lions were very upset and things like that. I mean, and that's tame. I think we've become more, I won't even say more negative. It's just more mean-spirited than we used to be. Well, I'll leave it at that. I mean, and I think in some ways,
a lot of negativity.
In some ways, it's good. I think the negativity is fine because you don't want cheerleaders. You want criticism. I think sometimes we take it too personal. But other than that, I think it's good.
All right, couple things here. Fletch says, I remember the Sunday Sports Album show on WJR back when Stoney looked like Pete Sampras. It's a nice compliment. And Jamie Samuelson, your morning partner, is in the chat room saying technical difficulties.
By the way, the reason you're not seeing me, hold on. No, the reason you're not seeing me is I'm taking. My wife's giving me an order. She's going to Dairy Queen. I don't know if I want anything. So yes.
Well, we're only doing a live show. Get the order and it's fine.
Small mini blizzard.
This is vintage Stone Squatch. Get me. I want a double Oreo Nerds Blizzard.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, your morning show partner. Well, Fletch first said that, as you look like Pete Sampras back on the Sunday Sports Album show, but then Jamie's involved right now, and he says hi, and he says technical difficulties with 10 question marks. I'm stunned. So the Jam Squatch, are we surprised there are technical difficulties with the legendary Stoney? Not at all, but you look great. You look great with the Canadian jersey. What is that for the Olympics?
The technical difficulty is just the stupid microphone that for some reason doesn't work unless I'm on Zoom or Skype.
Yeah, I think you did a great job.
Hey, whatever.
A great job. All right, but I do have one. I got a bunch of surprises I mentioned. I want to give you one here before we get into the one-on-one starring the Stone Squatch. Okay. And some know this, Stoney. Some don't. I'm proud of this, and I know you appreciate this. But I want to show you something because these are your beautiful daughters, Jessica and Marissa. And my dad just happened to deliver those lovely ladies.
Yes, he did.
How long?
The doc did, no doubt.
And you tell a great story. You've said it on air many times. Tell the people the story of the night, or was it what time was it again?
It was in
the
night, right? I got the call. Actually, Jamie Wojo, because I couldn't leave because whatever, we're in Lakeland. I got the call from Cindy. I'm on my way to the hospital. My water broke, which was early. And so I met her at the hospital, and your dad was the obstetrician, and we were waiting to go. And he said, "Let's wait till we see if this guy wins $1 million or not." He wouldn't take me. He wouldn't take my wife in till Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was over.
Hey, listen, it was the biggest show on television. But now your daughters are, if I'm not mistaken, are they 20 years old or 19?
20.
What is it like for you to have two daughters that are 20, because you're not that old yourself, but 20 years old.
So
you look great, Stone Squatch. What is it like to have two 20-year-old daughters? Twinsies.
It's great. Time flies. They're wonderful girls. One goes to Michigan. One goes to Michigan State after, going to transferring from Georgia. And it's great. I mean, I get to see them, interact with them, watch them grow up was great. They're terrific. They, for the most, they don't get in any trouble. The only problem sometimes I have with them is they don't listen to their parents enough. But they're really good kids. They do great in school. Jessica continues to be a wonderful equestrian. She works very hard at that and working at the barn and getting great grades. And Marissa is a huge football fan. They're all sports, but particularly she loves Patrick Mahomes, and she loves Super Bowls and all the stuff that most of us love. And she works game days in the press box at the big house, and that's it. She's her camp was just canceled yesterday, so that sucks. Her summer's really.
I know my nephew found out that it's Tamarack. I know a lot of people go to Tamarack, Tanuga, which I went to. A lot of camps around. Is
Tanuga closed? Is Tanuga closed for the year?
Tanuga isn't. It's very likely not going to happen.
I
don't think that's been officially announced.
Oh, it's horrible, Dan.
It is horrible.
We can't see your videos of you in Tanuga. Oh, that's horrible.
Wakanda. All right, well, we have another special treat. We got the great Dave Rieger, who has prepared 5. I have no idea what these questions are, but it's a Dan Leach one-on-one starring the Stone Squatch. Stoney, Dave can get pretty frisky with these questions. So are you ready for a one-on-one? Here we go. It is a Dan Leach one-on-one starring the legendary Stoney right here on the task force. Dave? Question number 1.
Question 1, Stoney. Chauncey Billups is the only player in NBA history with a winning record, including the playoffs, against Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. You are starting up a new Detroit Pistons from scratch. Is your backcourt Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars, or Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton?
Those two choices, simple. It's Isaiah and Joe. It's not even a question.
I agree. I love Chauncey.
They could flourish in any era. Chauncey and Rip are great. I love Rip. I love them both. They're great guys. But I just think Isaiah is at a different level than any of them.
Yeah, and I know Dave is a big Chauncey Billups flap, and I respect Chauncey and Rip. And without Chauncey, and obviously Ben Wallace and others, that team never wins title. Chauncey was the finals MVP, but it is Isaiah and Joe all the way. And I got to tell you, Isaiah, as we saw during this last dance, and so I'll ask you this as a quick side question. You can see all the hate that's going on still between Jordan and Isaiah. I don't think Isaiah gets his due outside of Detroit. He does some places, but not enough. I don't think.
You're correct. My friends in New York hate him but not for the on the court. It's for the off the court stuff with the Knicks. He's not loved, to put it mildly. He's always been kind of a hated player.
Yes. All right. Question 2, Dave.
All right, Stoney. Question number 2. According to Google, these are the most searched recipes to inspire your next quarantine meal: banana bread, meatloaf, pancakes, oatmeal cookies, baked ravioli, and sourdough crackers. What recipe are you going to look up for your next quarantine meal?
I don't cook, so
no, he does not cook.
Pancakes. I like the pancakes. Or my own deal. I go to the store, go to Jersey Bagel, 14 in Farmington, pick up my big East Coast bagels and some real lox, not the Nova stuff, real lox. It's salty, and that's my meal.
I like it.
Now I'm not a cook.
Well, Cindy does the cooking, right? She's a legendary cook. I've been cooking.
She's legendary. Yeah.
She knows her stuff. For me, I've been posting pictures of chicken and different asparagus and corn. But I did my first ribs yesterday, and I got the recipe. I found some stuff online, but I got a great recipe for my brother-in-law's father, and I put them in the oven for an hour and a half. I basted them, I seasoned them, and they were quite scrumptious. So ribs are mine, Dave. Dave, I'm guessing for you, because you're not a big cook guy. Tuna sandwich? Solid tuna sandwich?
Probably something like that, yeah.
All right, question
I'm
3.
in the same boat with Stoney. All right, so Stoney, get ready for a new Mario game coming out for Nintendo. Paper Mario: The Origami King will be released on July 17th for the Nintendo Switch. The game will see Mario chase new supervillain King Ollie, whose evil ambition is to fold the entire world. Give me your favorite all-time Mario game and all-time favorite Mario character, if you have one.
All right, I like it.
Mario Lemieux and Mario Andretti. I didn't play my kids. I played a little bit with my kids, but I can't remember. My favorite.
That's a
game,
great answer.
30 King.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, for me, I
Space Invaders.
Oh.
How about Galaga?
Galaga.
My dad's favorite.
Okay.
So I've got the classic Nintendo right here. I don't know if people can see it. And I was the first one in my neighborhood to have the original Nintendo. So Dave, for me, it's the original Super Mario Brothers and Princess Toadstool. Was that her name? Toadstool, whatever her name was. That's my favorite character.
Princess Peach.
Yeah,
okay.
The princess. That's my favorite. When you jump on the flags and you get her, you're excited.
She's in the new. She's in the new game too. Yes.
All right. Question 4.
All right. So heavyweight champion Tyson Fury said he received a call to fight Mike Tyson in an exhibition bout. He had one answer: yes. Are you buying this fight if it's offered on pay-per-view, Stoney? Tyson Fury versus Mike Tyson in an exhibition bout.
Depending on the price, but most likely, yes. If it's Tyson Fury, obviously Mike Tyson's going to get his ass kicked. But as far as Tyson Holyfield, I'd watch it again just on the chance
100%.
that Tyson lands one of his vintage rights. It'd be awesome.
I'll tell you this, Stoney. I know you love boxing. I've always loved boxing. I would watch Tyson Fury. I'd watch Tyson Holyfield. I'd watch Tyson in a garbage can. I think to see a Tyson Holyfield 3 after what happened in fight number 2, which I still believe, yes, McGregor and Mayweather was big. And yes, there's been some Roy Jones Jr. bouts, and there's been some big fights in the last 20 years. But that was, to me, the last seminal boxing shared moment with two guys that were as big as they were. I remember watching it on a closed circuit before you could get it easily at home. I mean, I think they still have pay-per-view. But I was at Touchdowns Cafe in Ann Arbor in whatever it was, 97, 98. And everyone was watching it somewhere. I would watch that in a heartbeat. All right, Dave, let's hit out of the park, as we always do with question 5.
All right, this question is a little long-winded, Stoney, so bear with me, but follow along here. So on Friday, Saturn the alligator, who was born in the United States and gifted to the Berlin Zoo, died at the age of 84 at the Moscow Zoo. The Berlin Zoo was hit during several bombing raids in World War II, and in 1943, the facility was destroyed by one of those raids, killing many of the animals and releasing the others. It's unclear where Saturn the alligator was for the next 3 years, but in 1946, Saturn was gifted by British forces in Berlin to the Soviets, who delivered the gator to the Moscow Zoo. Almost immediately, the myth was born that he was allegedly in the collection of Adolf Hitler and not in the Berlin Zoo at all. If you were able to interview Saturn the alligator about his life, what would your first question be?
Oh my God. Are you related to Scott the Gator Anderson?
Yes.
That is a great answer.
I like it. I'd ask him if he tried to kill Hitler, because I sure hope he did. Dave, great job. Great job. Stoney. All right, Stone Squatch, a few things before we let you go, and thanks so much for joining us. I've told you this many times, but you mean a lot to me on a personal and a professional level. But there's a lot of people watching on the chat that are huge fans of yours and that appreciate what you're doing. And I know that it's not what we're used to during, a normal period of time. But what you and Jamie are doing, what our great station has been doing, 97 on the Ticket, is entertaining people during probably, I would say for most, if not the high majority, one of the craziest times of their life. When you go on the air, and you talked about this a little earlier, but when you go on the air and you try to entertain, do you think of things differently during this period of time? Maybe not as, are you trying to be less serious, more serious? What's the approach been for you and Jamie?
I think we try to be, with the news with Heather, we try to be somewhat serious in there. And if there's we can't get political because no matter which
Right.
side you take on a
So
particular
divisive.
topic, you piss off half your audience. So we can't do that. And even the stuff that that you want to talk about as far as COVID-19, now everything is political. If you suggest people should wear masks, you're a liberal a-hole. If you suggest that people should go out and live their lives, you're like well, what's the matter with you? You're a jerk. You don't care about people's health. I mean, that's going back to your question about what's wrong with or the difference of sports talk radio today.
Right.
And a lot of it's social media as well. You can't have an opinion without being an asshole. I mean, and that's a shame.
It's true.
You're seeing people are supposed to be able to discuss, have opinions, no matter what side of the aisle they're on, whether they're Republicans, Democrats, green and white, or maize and blue. It shouldn't be this vitriolic, and unfortunately, it is for a lot of reasons.
You get it. You see it too. And if you saw, and you know this, and Dave knows this, if you saw my Twitter feed and some of the response, not necessarily just to me, but just to other people that follow me, I've had, and I hate to do it because I don't like to block people. I've had to block more people in the last 2.5 months than ever because people are just so mean to each other. And my great hope, and Dave knows this too, Stoney, and I know this is the kind of guy you are. I don't want to speak for you, but my great hope is that as we get out of this thing, whatever that is, 6 months, a year, whatever it is, that yes, there's still going to be, as you mentioned, a-holes, but that we are kinder to each other. We are more understanding of nature. We understand what's more important than spreading vitriol, which I think is love and support and hope and togetherness. But Stoney, it's one of these things where you would think that a pandemic would calm people down. It's enraged people more. It's crazy to me sometimes.
You're right. It is absolutely nuts. I can't figure out why, but people just, it's like they have to be rooting
Anxiety,
yeah.
I think, Stoney. They don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, and even before this, which even makes it even more crazy, if you ask me.
Sure. A couple questions from some fans of your Stone Squatch. Evan says, by the way, he loves the one-on-ones. Bravo to Dave. We'll get to some Springsteen stuff in a second. I got some questions on that. Evan Scott wants to know if Matt Stafford is a top 100 player in the NFL. And Dave knows my answer on this.
Top 100. I think this year he will be. He's borderline.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Lawrence Jackson, the former Lion, was on the show yesterday, and he thinks Stafford's as good as Dan Marino. And
I'm not going to go that far, but
while I understand some of the similarities, he brought out some very interesting stats as far as yards and touchdown percentages and things like that. You can't compare him to Dan Marino. I think Matthew Stafford has been most of it. I don't think is his fault that he hasn't won a playoff game. Some of it is. So it's somewhere in the. I think Matthew Stafford's a very good quarterback, but he's not great. This year he has a chance if he stays healthy because he was terrific last year. He really was.
He was. I'll tell you this, for me, and it's no secret, I'm a big Stafford guy, and I'm not trying to say he's top 5, top 4, things like that. He's capable of being on the edge of elite. I've always said EOE, edge of elite. But I think with the importance of a quarterback's position in the NFL these days, and you mentioned he's not Dan Marino, that's for sure, but he's definitely a top 100 player with me, and I think that you're right about this year. If he hadn't gotten hurt last year, things would have been much different. You can see with the Bevel offense is going to support what his strengths are, Matt Stafford's strengths, the running game, having DeAndre Swift, having Kerryon Johnson. And before I get to Charlie's comment that I think you'll appreciate, Stoney, what do you think about the Lions? I mean, I think you look at the first 3 rounds. You look, yes, they didn't trade down, which upset me, but you get a ridiculous top 5 quarterback in Okuda, and I say top 5 as far as overall in the top 5 picks. You get DeAndre Swift way lower than you should have, and you get Okwara's brother, Julian Okwara. You probably have 3 day 1 starters. That's what you want to do if you're a team trying to be, improve on a ridiculously bad year and keep the coach moving forward. Do you think the Lions have a chance in the playoffs? Do you think they have no chance in the playoffs? What do you see with the draft leading into the season if they have one?
I think they drafted pretty well. I think they have a chance at the playoffs, but you have to think Minnesota and Green Bay are going to be better than they are. So I think they'll be 3rd instead of 4th.
Yep. Charlie Evelyn says, really enjoying this. I'm a New York City guy, so we never followed college sports. We really didn't have any except for Army, football, Rutgers, and St. John's basketball. Although my dad got a baseball scholarship to Penn State. It's funny. Stoney pronounces because, just like another Philly guy, Mitch Album, with a soft S instead of a Z. Thanks for taking me home, boys. I'm going to go inside and toast a bagel. So how do you say, we say because? Because?
I say because. I don't know.
He thinks you say because. Well, isn't it because? With it like the sounding like a Z?
Look, I could do the whole, Michigan accent. I mean, only in Michigan could you marry a girl named Mary December 25th and have a Merry Christmas. You should marry, and have a Merry Christmas.
Merry!
Three separate, words.
I like it. Stoney, what is your, as we know, and I got a special another treat for you in a second from your sports roots. What is your favorite team in Detroit? Is it Michigan? Is it a pro team? What is your favorite team?
The one that drives me the most passionate right now, and it changes over the years, not by how good or bad they are, just by different things. I think it's Michigan football.
Me too.
I just want them to win. A lot of it's just to shut people up, especially people who live in Ohio more than even the Spartan. Look, people give me crap because, I'm a huge Michigan football fan, and and in basketball I like State better than Michigan. So whatever, I get made fun of. That's fine. It fits perfectly now that I have a daughter at each school.
Yes, divided sky.
But I root for look in basketball. It goes like this: American, Michigan State, Michigan. In football, we don't have my alma mater doesn't have a team, so it's Michigan and then Michigan State. But I usually want Michigan State to win when they're not playing Michigan, and the same thing vice versa in basketball. I like both.
So what are you going to do? What do you do now with one daughter at each? If they're playing each other at basketball, are you going to be like you're a parent of a player on both teams? You're going to root for one time, the other one the next time.
No, I root for Michigan State in basketball. We went to the football game this year together as a family. My wife, I got her a shirt that said "House Divided." She went to Michigan. I rooted for Michigan.
I like it. Here's another one for you from Team Legendary. They want to know what your favorite tailgate food is. Is it a Philly cheesesteak?
No, not so much. My favorite tailgate item would be obviously a Bloody Mary. My favorite tailgate food, depending on the time of day. If it's a morning game, the breakfast with the pancakes or the bagels and lox at the tailgates that you used to go to, Mr. Leach, and one of my friends' tailgates. Whether you have sometimes they make great French toast. If it's an afternoon game or an evening game, I'm basic. Give me a dog and a burger. I'm very happy.
A dog and a burger. That tailgate, by the way, I miss it. The legendary.
I don't know if we're going to see tailgating this year. I don't know if we're going to see tailgating this year.
I don't know if we're going to tailgate for like 2 years. Dave, before we get into, I'm going to see if I'm right about this moment for Stoney Sports Life. Dave, any questions for the Stone Squatch?
I just want to know how your golf game's doing.
I played today. I had a 50. That's basically
not bad.
I played like 5 or 6 times. I haven't played a full 18 yet, and everything's between 48 and 52. So I need a short game lesson badly.
Well, it's fun. Right. It's funny. We got to get out there soon, Stoney. The three of us, maybe with Jeff, that'd be a crazy day. It's funny. My short game has been better. It's been like I can't drive at times off the tee right now, so I'm using my 5-iron. But my short game sucked last year. If you can improve your short game, it's just crazy how much easier things are. But we got to get out there,
especially as you get older, and your distance on your shots aren't as good. As long as if you can somehow keep the ball somewhat out of trouble and get it to even a par 4, get it near, the green and 2, chip in and 2 putt. I just play for bogeys. If I play for bogeys, I'm usually okay.
Dave and I were talking yesterday. We were getting ready for the show. Dave, we remember the famous Stoney chip over the trees at Links of Novi, right? We remember that.
Right.
That was pretty legendary.
That was pretty impressive.
That's right. We played that.
That was impressive. All right. So Stoney, I know I've done many shows with you before, so I know you brought this up, and I want to see if I'm right about this. This is what I think is your ultimate sports moment in your life. I think I'm right. I definitely know you were alive for this. Let's see if the Squatch hit this on the head. And I'm still learning the software, so I apologize. Here we go.
Gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. Win Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup. Flyers.
So did I get it right? Did I get it right? That's got to be your all-time sports moment, right?
Second.
Oh, second. Oh,
Ooh, second. All right. So if it wasn't that, let me think. Dave, any guesses of Stoney's all? It wasn't the '98 Rose Bowl. I mean, that would be it. But
no, you're very close. You're very close, by the way.
It's
not the second back-to-back cup.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
All right. So you're saying when I said the Rose Bowl, you said I was very close?
No, you were close with the Flyers.
All right. Oh, no, because you've told the heartbreaking story of when they missed the playoffs with that tie, right?
Right. That was.
So that's not it.
No.
Wow. The Eagles winning the Super Bowl?
No, because as much as I loved it,
you're a Detroit guy now.
I was a Detroit guy. And I was more happy for my friends and my fans. Hold on a second. I'm going to go walk downstairs. Maybe I'll be able to show you this moment that I'm talking about. Hold on a second.
Dave, I'm trying to think. I'm trying. If I was close with the Flyers, Stoney,
it's got to be some. It's got to be some
signing of Eric Lindros.
The what?
The signing of Eric Lindros? I'm trying to.
No.
I'm kidding. That's obviously not what it is.
Let me see where we go. Where are we? By the way, here is the. Just so you know, I don't know if you can see this. This is. Hold on. This is.
That's the man cave.
So this is what you just showed. If I can figure out how to do this right.
There you go. Miracle Flyers take the cup, and City goes wild with joy. That's nice.
And there's the ticket stub from that game.
Oh, where did you get that from?
I was there.
Oh, you were. I didn't know you were there.
Yeah.
I'm shocked this wasn't your number one moment.
No, hold on. All right, here we go. Ready?
All right, here we go.
Let me see if I got this right.
Hopefully we don't lose the signal here.
Can you see that?
Oh, that's right. When they beat the Russians. You did say that to me before. How did I not remember that? Was it 8-1 or something?
No, 4-1. Here you go. 4-1.
Oh, and you were there.
And I was there. Was I there? Yeah, I was there.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, you were there. So what year was that? 80? Oh no, 76 was the year before. Okay, 2 years
76, yeah.
Height of the Cold War. Tell everyone what that was like.
Yeah,
that must have been incredible.
Central Red Army went on a tour, played 4 NHL teams. They tied Montreal. They lost the other 2. The last one was against the Flyers. And the Flyers, for those who don't realize, were like the bad boys. Everybody hated the Broad Street Bullies except people from Philadelphia, just like everybody hated the bad boys except people from Detroit. So all these people from Canada, from all over, who obviously hated the Russians, had to root and hope the Flyers could be the one team to beat them. By the way, while I'm down here,
that's incredible.
I'll give you a little tour here.
Yeah, give us a tour of the Stone Cave.
Barry Sanders signed jersey.
All right, sweet. Oh, that's awesome. I still have mine.
Here's the worst piece of paraphernalia I own: a Kevin Jones signed jersey.
Come on, that's still pretty cool. I like Kevin Jones. I like K. Jones.
There's another game I was at when the Phillies won the World Series, and Phillies won in 1980. Ticket stub.
Yep.
Nice.
Mike Schmidt.
See that? Yeah, I guess we can.
I was a big Mike Schmidt guy.
My sister and I were in the last row behind the plate.
What was the cost on that ticket?
Go
Dominic Hasek. Yeah, what was the cost? I'm guessing $25.
$15.
Oh,
wow, $15. That's incredible.
15.
That is incredible.
$15. Last row.
$15.
Play. And we have
$15 to go to the World Series. It's
Crazy.
incredible. Charlie says Dave Schultz was his first sports interview with the Hammer.
These are all signed. Okay.
I think we lost your feed there, Stone Squatch.
See what else we have of interest here as we take you on a little. There we go, a little air hockey game that doesn't really work very well.
Well,
all right, ready?
Let's Stoney, Stoney, you froze there. We got to get your camera feedback. Well, just describe it at least. Please be descriptive.
Bruce Springsteen, Tower Theater, signed. This is New Year's Eve, 1975.
Looks great.
It looks great. I can imagine in my head. Stoney, your camera froze.
My camera froze. It looks like it's moving.
Yeah, so you've been describing it excellently.
Yeah.
Okay. Ticket stubs. So my camera froze.
Yeah, your camera froze. I'm telling you, it's probably signal issues.
Maybe if I get outside of my basement.
Yes, but you've got quite. I like the man cave there.
Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr sounds great. Can you describe it a little better?
Oh, okay.
It's just a picture of the wall.
We're going upstairs.
There we go. We got you back.
Hold on.
Now you're back.
We lost you for a little bit there.
But you described it great. I do want to show you before. I got one more thing I want to show you before we go. And he doesn't need a house item, Dave. You already had 15 of them. So we'll forego that. But Stoney, I wanted to. Everyone knows you're as big of a Bruce Springsteen guy as anyone is. And here's a little stuff from. Oh, your Emmy.
Nice.
Where's that? What's that from?
1989. The best of Bernie's All-Star bloopers. I produced the show.
Oh, I like it.
Mike, Andrew, and Bernie Smilowitz.
That's cool.
Nicely done. All right, so you got anything else you want to show there before I show you this?
Is there anything else worth showing? Super Bowl tickets.
There's always.
How about Super Bowl 15? The Eagles and the Raiders. Ticket price $40.
$40.
That was what? That was
1981.
That was the 1980s.
$1,200 now.
Yeah.
Was that was
Eagles Patriots $600.
Was that Ron Jaworski in 1980?
Yeah, that was Ron Jaworski. Decided to throw 3 interceptions.
Like was that Plunkett for the Raiders? Yeah.
Yes. Thanks for reminding me. Rod Martin 2 interceptions.
Stoney, Gary wants to see a picture of your moat. You got a picture of your moat anywhere?
There's no moat.
Dave, I think there's a moat. All right, so Stoney, let me show you this. And as everyone knows, you're the world's preeminent master of. I have
actually been to a holiday party at Stoney's once, so I have been there.
I was supposed to go, and I was able to come a couple times. But Stoney, was this one of the great moments of your life?
Seeing him at the Super Bowl, it was pretty good. He played. He screwed it up. It could have been the best ever, but it wasn't because he played a song called "Working on a Dream," which I don't really like, and it was his album was coming out called "Working on a Dream," and I didn't like that part of it. But 10th Avenue, Glory Days, and but Born to Run was great, and the slide here was awesome. Yeah, he put on a great show. Prince to me is the best ever.
Yes, Prince. I think U2's post 9/11 show was incredible, and I think you're right about Prince though. Prince was incredible, but Dave was now. So we were at that Springsteen show, my first with Dave and Dave's brother. We got in the pit. I posted that picture of you and Cindy looking at us. That was Dave thought the river was boring. I can't believe it. It was fantastic. That was a great show, Stoney, wasn't it?
It was great. It was super boring until the end.
You forget how many great songs were on that album. He had there's a few slow songs in a row there that I could see where you could say, okay, that was a little boring.
But it's an album. It's a concept album.
Hey, it was cool.
It's a double album. What?
It was cool. It was cool. It was closest I've ever been to to a rock star. We were front row. I have a cool video when he was singing. It was cool. I mean, it was I just found it. I found it boring until it got to the end when it was more songs that I knew. So,
Okay. I
all right. So let me see.
You didn't do your homework.
Let me see.
You knew it was going to be the river. You should have listened to the river.
That's correct.
I told Dave too. I told him.
That's correct.
So let me see if I get this right. I can't remember the count now. Is it 200? 213 Springsteen
No,
shows?
it's counting Broadway. I think it's 126.
That's still absurd. What? I'm sorry. My friend, I've told you about it. My friend Nick, New York Nick, lives in Pensacola, Florida. He's at 213. 127 is ridiculous.
It's stupid, but you know what?
Is there one? I mean, it's like people ask me, I've seen Pearl Jam 20 times and Fish 25 times. And obviously for Fish, it's the New Year's Eve show they played for 11 straight hours. But is there one, or I'm sorry, 8.5 straight hours. Is there one show above all else that when people ask you your all-time favorite British show, that it comes right to your heart? Or is there a bunch of them?
That is such a good question. I think the last show of the reunion tour, July 1st, 2000, that's right up there. I think that's my favorite. And then actually there was May of 70, or was it August? I think August of 78, the Darkness tour in Philly at the Spectrum, when Gary Busey came on stage. The Buddy Holly Story movie was out, and they did 2 Buddy Holly songs.
Sure. And I wonder where you're at with this, because Dave and I have talked about this many times on the show. I mean, I know they're building future suits. I know they're going to do venues with 25% capacity. When do you think? Because it's funny. The other day, I had to leave myself alerts on my phone so I remember stuff. And The Weeknd, the artist The Weeknd, who I love, has a great new album out. I was going to go see him in July, so I reminded myself to get tickets, which obviously is not going to happen. When do you think the next time we're going to be able to see concerts is?
I don't know. It changes all the time. When they tell you it's safe, there are people that would go to a concert tomorrow and
Sure.
stand in the pit. There are people who would go to the Big House and go to a football game with 100,000.
Hey, you got casinos opening up. All the indie casinos are opening up, so people are gonna go.
Yeah.
Look, then there's people. I have my friends. We take our Vegas trip every year. I have a couple of my friends, with 7 guys we go with. I ain't going anywhere like that until there's a vaccine. So people are, as my wife says, she's got a great saying with this and everything, like, you do you. Don't make judgments of people. Just people are going to do what they want to do. And as long as they don't hurt people, you do you.
It's a beautiful way to look at it. All right, before I let you go, I got a little rapid fire here for you. I know you're Dairy Queen soon. We'll call this Swinging with Stoney, some rapid fire questions. All right, first, your all-time favorite movie.
All-time favorite movie. Wow.
I know it's an unfair question. If you want to give a couple, that's fine.
How about Animal House? How about
I had a feeling you might say Animal House.
Reservoir Dogs.
Another good
Very
film.
good Tarantino movie.
Goodfellas.
Great
Another
one.
good film.
It's one of my Raging Bull. Those are three. Three of those are my top.
Blazing Saddles. Diner.
Mel Brooks.
Blazing Saddles.
Nice. Okay. If you could meet any person that you've never met before, dead or alive, who is it?
Who would I want to be?
Yep. Someone you've never met before, either someone obviously that's alive or someone that is dead. Yeah.
Anybody. Question.
All right. So you can meet anybody you want that's alive that you've never met before, or someone that's no longer living as well. Anybody. Your dog. Meet your dog.
This is going to sound. People are going to think I'm crazy. I would love to sit down and
There you go.
have a conversation with, I don't know, somebody like Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth?
Not alive, and somebody who is alive, Tiger Woods.
Oh, it's a great
That's
answer.
great. Those are great answers. Well, of course, because Dave's the time.
I don't know if Tiger would tell me anything. Shut up,
Well, they tell you something. All right. We're trying to do the best we can and support local restaurants. All right.
Hey,
Got to get the dogs, Dave. Got to calm the dogs down. Hey, Dave, who let the dogs out?
Rosie.
Has this been our greatest, most loose? No problem. Please apologize. You're a great dog. A great dog.
Stop.
All right.
Yeah, you can tell they listen so well.
The dog is forgiven. All right. We know we're trying to support local businesses the best we can these days. Stoney, what is your favorite Detroit area restaurant?
Ooh, wow.
It's a tough one too, I know.
I'm going to go with, it's basic. It's in the city of Detroit. And it's right. Yeah, it is kind of a restaurant nowadays. Supino's. The best pizza around.
That's a great one. That's a great one. All right, last one for you.
Pepino's. There's a lot of great restaurants.
Pepino's means a lot to my family. All right, last one for you. And another very brutally tough question, but I know you can answer well. Who is, in your opinion, the greatest athlete ever?
Greatest athlete ever besides second.
I know it's unfair with eras and stuff, but I think it's a fair, you can do it.
Secretary. Seriously?
Yes.
Secretary.
Secretary's an athlete.
I know. I agree, but I'm gonna go, believe it or not, with like Michael Phelps.
Oh, it's a good answer. It's a good answer.
Great answer. For me, I thought about Phelps. All the gold medals, he's just ridiculous. I thought about Jesse Owens, but I've got to go with MJ. MJ never lost the finals, and he's the GOAT. He created a global brand of basketball. So for me, it's MJ. I'm sure Dave's going to go with Tiger Woods.
No. The greatest athlete that I ever saw before he got hurt, Bo Jackson.
Ooh, that's actually
a great one.
It's a great one.
I was going to say John Elway, but
John Elway was great. Hey, listen, he played his whole career without an ACL. He was great.
Yes. Nick says Bobby Clark and Michael Jack Schmidt. They're great athletes, not the greatest.
Great athlete. Well, Bobby Clark, I don't know, was a great athlete. He was one of the greatest leaders of all time.
Yes, that's for sure. All right, before we let you go, Stoney, we appreciate you. You know how much I appreciate you. And my dad sends his love to the twins. Please send our love to Cindy and the kids. Always give a chance to give everyone a parting shot. We'll start with Dave Rieger.
I just want to say that my favorite Stoney Bruce Springsteen moment is not a concert, but the time that I think you met. Did you meet Stone? Did you meet him in the Bahamas?
Yeah.
Stoney. It's a great story because I think that you saw him. You were nervous to meet him. You missed him. You came back later. You met him again or something. You were going in and out of a store. It was a great.
My wife told him about my fandom and my contract.
Right. It's
so
a great.
I have to meet him. So
great story. Great story.
For that.
Great story.
Nothing like meeting your hero, my dad.
Meeting Bruce. I'm on with Dan Leach and Dave Rieger. Say
hi. Come on, come and say hi.
Yeah.
Is that the legendary Cindy?
His ice cream is melting, I think, Dan. So you got to wrap this up.
All right, Stoney, parting shots before you get your Dairy Queen.
Parting shot. Well, it's great to be with you guys. It's great and I don't know how many people are watching or listening, but I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody who's listened and even watched all the years. I did Channel 7 on Sunday nights as well over the years. You mean a lot to me. You mean the world to me. And it just sucks right now. Not just the situation we're going through, but our teams below. We have no good teams. It's horrible. What are we going to do when the Lions are your best team? Oh, my God.
That is a problem. That is a big problem.
But I'll tell you this, Stoney, maybe after this, maybe the world that's been turned on its access turns back on another access to Detroit sports, get some love, get some success. That's the great hope. But Stoney, I want to thank you for what you've done for me in my life and career. You've always been supportive. You've always been an inspiration for me for a long, long time, and so many others that have watched the show. And I know Dave appreciates you a ton as well and was very excited for you to be on. Thank you for what you do. Keep up entertaining people and inspiring people. And it is a tough time, but what you and Jamie are doing right now with your show is helping. I've talked to so many people, Stoney, that listen to you on the morning, whether they're at home or are going to work or working from home, and you're making a difference. And that's all we can do right now, right?
Yeah. And if you are listening and you're up that early, call in.
Call in.
Are you on with my brother again tomorrow morning, Stoney?
Yeah, it's a Rieger Stoney show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so listen to that show.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I apologize too, but it's Dave's brother. Stoney, we love you. Thank you so much. As I always say, wash your hands, spread love, not hate, believe in the dream. Stone Squatch, love you, my friend.
Take care, Stoney.
Hold on.
Enjoy that.
Hold on,
enjoy that ice cream.
Marissa's there. Hey, it's the twinsies. There's how you doing?
I'm
Hello.
Good. How are you?
Good. Say hi to the cool people out there that love your dad and love you.
Love them too.
You
All
can follow
right.
her at Marissa Stone.
Yeah. What's your? Does she have a Twitter?
I have a Twitter.
Give everyone your Twitter. They'll follow you right now.
People are listening.
I know. It's not on the radio. It's his own little private thing.
It's a video show. People are watching.
Yeah.
You want me to? I don't.
No, whatever.
Stoney, what kind of ice cream did you get again?
I asked for a mint blizzard. We'll find out if it's here.
I think it might be. Enjoy
All right,
that, Stoney.
Enjoy that ice cream, Stoney.
Thanks for
Okay.
coming on. We love you. We'll do it
Bye,
again soon.
guys.
See
The
ya.
great Stone Squatch. For Dave Rieger, for Mike Stone, I'm Dan Leach. Task Force out. Believe in it.
Bye.